What is the horse or Ashwa in the word Ashwamedha? This is very important. Yeah, we have to meditate upon that word and cognize it thoroughly. Is Ashwa an ordinary, physically recognizable horse or something else? There is a Kradu. Kradu is a sacrifice in its name. And there is a Prajapatya in its name. Tannamangidatvat Krado Prajapatyat Ascha. And that is Shankaracharya's Bhashya. The seasons, and there is a star named after that. Then is it possible to think of it just as a physical animal from or a form which is getting sacrificed? So the first mantra shows this in detail. The first mantra of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says, the Ashwa described after Pranava in this mantra is not an ordinary horse. It is the seen universe. Ashwa is the seen universe, entire universe. So this is to be cognized wholly with your medha, intellect, and therefore it is called medhya. The universe, the entire universe has to be cognized in your brain, then it has to be sacrificed for getting moksha or mukti. Once you understand the universe, you have to sacrifice it to attain the Brahma. It is this sacrifice of the universe after knowing it with your intellect that is called Ashwamedha. The Rishi says that the head of the horse is Ushas or Dawn. Dawn or the Ushas is the head of the horse. The eye is the Surya or the sun. Prana or life breath is the Vayu or air in the universe. And the open mouth is the Agni Vaishwanara, the fire called the Vaishwanara. And the Atma is the Samvatsara or the year itself. The Samvatsara is the entire year. So this is the morning, the sun, the winds or the air prana, then the Agni or Vaishwanara, like that. And the entire thing, the Atma is the Samvatsara. Then it says that the backside of the horse is the dew, that is heaven. And the Udara or the stomach is the Antariksha, that is between heaven and earth. And the Pada, feet, is the Prithvi. Pada is the Prithvi. So we are all born from the Prithvi, from the feet of the universe. From the feet of the universe is the earth. From that the human beings are born. And then says, the sides are the directions, south, north, west, east. Ribs are the directions in between, that is called the Vidik. That is northwest, northeast, like that, no? All the organs of the horse are considered to be the seasons. The joints or parva are the month or masa. And the arthamasa, half months, etc. And its fixation is ahoratra, day and night. And the bones of the horse are the stars. Mamsa or meat is the naphas or the sky. The partly digested food in the stomach of the horse is the sand grains or sand bags. And the anus of the horse is considered to be the oceans. Spleen and liver are considered as mountains. The hairs are the Aushadhi and Vanaspati, the plant kingdom. The eastern half is the Udaya, sunrise, and the western half is the Astamaya, sunset. And this Ashwa expands. The word is Vijrumbita. It expands. The universe expands. No, we know now that expanding and contracting universe. Here it is said the universe as Ashwa, Vijrumpanam, that is expands, enlightens, or Vidyoda. It produces lightning. Vidyoda is the lightning, and shakes its body. Sometimes the entire universe shakes. Thunder, lightning, formation of clouds, and rain appear. Its word is word itself. Vage Vasya Vag. So it is the Ashwa is the entire universe with all these phenomena which we watch every day. And the word of the universe is the word or Vak. This is the description of the horse in Ashwamedha. The expanding universe which shakes with the electromagnetic field forces and energy fields, the vibrating universe of seasons and time, which we measure by astrophysics. No? She is speaking of those things. And that is the Ashwa of the Rishi to be sacrificed by the knowers of the Brahma. So one has to first understand the nature of the universe, and then only you sacrifice it. It is not something to be killed, but it is something to be known and then sacrificed. Universe, you can't kill the universe. So it is not to be killed. This starts the Brahma Vidya of this Upanishad. The Brahma Vidya first speak of understanding the universe, and then with your Vairagya, with your Viveka, you just sacrifice it and meditate on Brahma, reach Brahma. That is only if you sacrifice this seen universe, you can reach the unknown or unseen Brahma. So here, the Ushas here is the Brahma Muhurta. That is the 3/4 part of an hour before sunrise is the Brahma Muhurta. Shankara says, this is to remember the famous or prasiddha Kala time, since the Shabda Vai is used. The famous time, knowing the time is very important, no? For the universe. In the Brahma, there are no time or Kala Desha, there is no Kala or Desha. It is only unmanifested, without Kala, without Desha. But for the universe, to understand the universe, you have to know the Prasiddha Kala. The Shabda Vai means that the head is the Uttamanga. It is Brahma Muhurta and it is the Kala or time. The implication is the best and the greatest and the most important part of the knowledge of the Prapancha. To know the Prapancha, to know the universe, first you have to learn what is time, what is Kala, because that is the Uttamanga. Kala is the Uttamanga. It is Brahma Muhurta and it is the Uttamanga. Imagination of the Ashwa as Prajapati or a Devata has originated because of subsequent Adhyaropa of Kala. Loka, Devata or Prakasha, that is light in order. First Kala, then the Loka, the Devata, then the Prakasha, light in that order. This Metha or Jnana is expressed by several generations of human race for a prolonged period and cannot be obtained by just one generation alone. And therefore, as the progenitor of generations of unknown previous races, generations of human beings, the Samjna or the name of Prajapati is given. Why is the Ashwa called Prajapati? Because of this, because of the unknown generations of the human race, origin of humans. That's why. A simile used here is like Vishnutva is imposed on an idol of Vishnu. That idol alone is not Vishnu. but we impose the identity of the Vishnu on an idol, no? Just like that. The Prajapatitva is imposed on the Ashwa. Just a symbolic representation for understanding. Then after the head, the eyes are mentioned. The head is time and the eye is the Surya. Time calculated with the movements of the different grahas around the Surya. So Surya is the Kalatma. So that is second understood. The Veda Netra, or the eye of the Veda, or as a Vedanga, organ of the Veda, is Jyotisha or astronomy, and the sun is the Atma or Kalatma, the soul of Kala. Atma is the perceiver of all, and the Samvatsara, being the Atma of the host, the center of the Atma, the Samvatsara is the sun or Surya. The entire year, the year cycle, it rolls around the sun. So sun is the center of this Samvatsara. Because of the central position of Surya, the years and seasons happen. That is why it is called the Kalatma. The Samvatsara also is an organ of the Kala, a unit of Kala. The head Kala and the Atma, the Samvatsara, are fixed in the Pratishta of Ahoratra, that is day and night of the earth. Earth as the feet, sun as the central aksha. So sun is the central aksha. The earth is the pada or feet which revolves around. With the feet we move, So it is the pada or that which moves. And the earth for the human beings who live here, we want Medha. So we consider Surya who gives the Medha to us by doing Pradakshina, rolling around him. Feet is always moving, walking on a base, So earth is that base also on which we all the entire living things walk around. The earth is given these two attributes. Ahoratraihi Kalatma Pratishthatyasvacha Padai, says Shankara. So, the sun is a star. There are millions of stars near and far, which we see or which we cannot see. Because of their whiteness and phosphorescence, and since they are comparable to the bone pieces scattered on the funeral pyre, which also is called incidentally as Chiti, The Atma is Chiti. The funeral pyre also is Chiti. So on that we see the phosphorescent bone chips after you cremate a body. Just like that, the stars are seen like for phosphorescent bone pieces. So they are compared to bones. Even these starry loka have to be cognized with our subtle medha or intellect. Then only we can do sacrifice of it, says the Rishi. So the astrophysics and astronomy has been given the foremost importance in the Veda. It's very important thing. From dawn to noon is the head to navel of the horse. And it is the eastern hemisphere. And from navel to the hoof is the western hemisphere. That is from noon to sunset. In this way, the horse's body and the two hemispheres of the globe are made identical. The expansion and contraction, call it Vikasa and Vikshepa, and the opening up of the mouth with strong winds and lightning are mentioned in the first sloka itself. The word used, Ghana Vidharana, the one which splits cloud or any solid thing, for the electrical power of lightning is here mentioned. when the thunder booms, the prapancha shudders. Both the sound and the electrical energy, when there is a major earthquake and when there is monsoon, are compared to the horse's behavior. The sound and light come together, and that is known to the Rishi. The condensation of water vapor in the clouds is compared to formation of urine in the bladder of the horse, and its release rain to urination. When the Rishi says the word of this great prapancha as horse is the vak, the seen universe produce an unseen word. This is pranava, and that is called the Brahma Vachaka. So we split the word Ashwa into its component letters. What do we get? A. A is the Shwa, that is Sa, Wa, or Ashwam, if you pronounce like that. By giving a letter to a numeral, we get a is 1, numeral 1. Sha is Yara Lava Sha, 5th one, so 5. Then U means again 1. And these 3 letters are total number is 7. And the repetition of the first letter A makes it 8, the octave. The 1 or the A is Brahma, Ega. The 5 or Sa is the Prapancha with 5 elements. 5 elements, Panchabhuta, so Sa, Sau. And the next coming U is 1. Again, the cyclical return of the Brahma Prapancha cycle. This revolving chakra is the samsara chakra. The last, if you call or makara, it is anuswara, no? But anuswara is also a part of the swara, it should be 1. But if you ma, if you make, it becomes 5. No, makara is pa pa bham bham ma. Ma is 5. So then the total number becomes 12 to 13. The koshta in which the swara of the octave is written is the number 12. The sa is representing the sava or jada aspect, and om, the living energy, live energy aspect of the universe. So both jada aspect and the living or energy aspect, both are there in the universe. This Ashwa has both non-living matter, living energy as its being, and everything is one with the cosmic energy. And that is what the first mantra says.